Hey Vaper, Stirfry here. Today we're going to be talking about rewrapping your batteries. I'm going to start rewrap these LG, is it LG? No, excuse me, Samsung 25Rs. And all you need is battery, heat shrink tubing, or battery wraps, and insulators. So we're going to go down, I'm going to tell you that, and we're going to talk about a little bit about how these batteries are constructed and why you need to do a rewrap right after this. All right. You want to open up your new battery wrap. See, these are pretty much, I get these pre-cut and folded. You can buy them online. Many sources. There we go. Oh, come on. This is so getting edited. Alright, you want to take your battery. Let's slide it in. And you want a little bit of space at the top, a little bit of space at the bottom. You're going to take yourself a brand new insulator. You're going to place that on the tip of your battery. The whole point of this is to keep the negative and the positive from touching. Because again, as I was saying, the whole body of the battery is your negative. You need a little bit of space at top and bottom. Now, I'm using a hairdryer. People can use heat guns. And hopefully this won't be too loud. And there you go. Here we're in your wrap battery. I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to do that off camera. Oh, no. And we're going to talk about the construction of a battery. Okay, so now we have two completely rewrapped batteries. Negatives, nice and sealed. Positive, and you can see where you have your insulator here. Insulator disc. And remember what we started with? We start with two. These are Samsung 25Rs. Now, back to the reason why you want to rewrap your batteries. As I showed you earlier, there was like little nicks in the wraps. The whole battery, from top to bottom, from this edge all the way down, is what they call the can. That's all one piece. The way a battery is constructed is basically, let me see if I can find something to demonstrate, is you have an anode and a cathode, and they're films. Okay, anode being your negative, cathode being your positive. They use an insulator they put in between. Okay, for example, say this is your insulator. They put the insulator between the two, and then they wrap it. They roll it all together. But sticking out of each side, out of one side here and one side there, will be your anode and cathode connectors. Your anode connector goes to the base or the can. This whole can is connected to one wrap, while the top or the base, the top or your positive, is connected to the cathode. And it's all wrapped together. They put that whole wrap inside of this can. Okay, now I have some diagrams to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And the thing is, when you start getting tears and nicks, they can ground. They can short out. They can short to each other. They can short to the body of your mod if you're using a metal mod. These are things you want to prevent. You want to prevent them from shorting out. You want to make sure there's no problems with your batteries. Now, people have always talked about, oh, those mods, they can blow up in your face. No, no. I've seen a couple video. I've seen some videos that are very informative. Suck My Mod does one. I'll put the link in the description for that. And I also do the link to a description, or rather a video, a woman named Renoa, super genius, who actually cuts one of these batteries apart and shows you what's on the inside. Okay? You want to always rewrap your batteries. You can pick up wrap really cheap. It's basically heat shrink tubing, PVC heat shrink tubing. You can use a hair dryer, or you can use a heat gun, and all it does is shrink it around with the insulator on top and seals it back up. That way, prevent anything happening, any shorts. Now I'm going to put a couple diagrams up, and I'll explain a little bit more to you. All right, so now we got the batteries wrapped. Now, just real briefly, I'll tell you about batteries. Now, like I was saying, when I cut the wrapper off the battery, you have the battery can. See how that's all one piece? And showing this diagram, the battery can is this whole thing. All right? It's all one piece, all the way up to this top right here. What happens is, or not what happens, the way the batteries are made, as I was demonstrating earlier, is you got an anode, you have a cathode. Here is your anode, and that's the little bar where it ties off to the bottom, and here's your cathode, and that ties off to your top. And they're wrapped. They're wrapped together, rolled up, and stuck down into the can. So the anode here attaches to your bottom of your can, which is here. So this whole can is negative. And just the top cap here is positive. That's the top cap. So, as you see, us again is wrapped with a separator in between, and the batteries wrapped together. That's why it's so important to rewrap your batteries, because now this whole thing is a negative. If I touch a wire to this top and anywhere along this body, it's gonna short. It's gonna short because it's all negative. That's why it's important to always rewrap your batteries. All right.